My name is Friedrich Nietzsche. I am a German philosopher, and I'd like to begin with a confession. I find it of great importance to tell the story of my life. I am thankful for it, and I want to celebrate it. And yet, my life was a life filled with pain. How both can be true, that is my entire philosophy. Now, before you listen any further, I must warn you. My ideas are the privilege of a rare few, and you are probably not among them. The majority, the weak, the resentful, read me and misunderstand me. I am, without a doubt, the most misunderstood thinker in history. Judge me an elitist if you must, but think twice before dismissing me, simply because I criticize the masses and laud the genius. I did not cower from stating what I held to be true. I philosophized, not with a feather pen, but with a hammer. I was born in Röcken, near Leipzig, in 1844, to Lutheran scholars and pastors on both sides. Ah, the irony. My father, himself a pastor, died when I was 5. My little brother, a few months later. My military service left me with a severe chest injury. The Franco-Prussian War, where I served as a hospital assistant, left me its horrors and diseases. I suffered from near constant migraines, failing eyesight, and vomiting. The one woman I loved, Lou Salome, refused me. As a final blow, my mind gave way in 1889, leaving me unable to work for the last decade of my life, before I died at the age of 55. That is plenty of misery, wouldn't you say? It is, if you read it as most would. To a mind of lesser intellect, it appears as a chain of sheer pain and weakness. In reality, it was the joyful life of a superior human being, a Goethe or a Beethoven of his century. The weak treat suffering as proof that life has wronged them and sink into passivity, a way of being steeped in what I so contentiously called slave morality. I refuse to fall into such a pitiful state. I chose and managed to overcome. Let me tell you about it. At 24, I became the youngest ever to be appointed as a professor at the University of Basel. And then, to escape my failing body, I became a wanderer in the 1880s, moving between the places that favored me most: the sharp air of the Swiss Alps, the sun of Italy, and the French Riviera. There, I walked and I wrote, for all truly great thoughts are conceived while walking. And how I produced more than most men could ever dream of. Out of those many walks came, among others, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, and Beyond Good and Evil, culminating in the explosive fire of 1888, where I finished 5 books in a single year. Works that scandalized, true. Works misused, after my death by nationalistic masses, a misuse led by my own sister to serve her anti-Semitic agenda, but also works of beauty that opened gifted hearts to grandeur. All of it came from one act. I embraced my fate. This is what I call amor fati, which means love of fate. Not merely to endure your life, but to want it exactly as it is. Now, even if you are not among the rare few, you can still learn from me. Consider those unquestioned values you hold so dear. Your condemnation of the 7 deadly sins, your reverence for compassion and truth. Shouldn't you abstain from every form of evil and pursue all which is good? Without a doubt, you reply, but why? This is where I reach for my hammer and crush those hollow idols you so desperately cling to. Those idols, those values, were once anchored by an omnipotent God. But, as I so famously proclaimed, God is dead. But understand me, I did not say it in triumph. I said it in alarm. Humanity has sawed off the branch it was sitting on. We turned reason and science against our own foundations, and soon belief in the gods and the divine gave way. But the price was hidden. The very ground that bound us to truth, goodness, and beauty fell away with it. Did that mean nothing was true, good, or beautiful any longer? That was what I feared most for humanity. Nihilism, the creeping sense that nothing matters at all. Many mistake me for a nihilist. They could not be more wrong. I despise nihilism. It is the disease I spent my life fighting. So, on what ground do your values stand today? Who dictates what your life is worth? You see, when the comfort of a grand cosmic plan is stripped away, you are left entirely alone with existence. There is no one to give your pain meaning but yourself. And make no mistake, one day the blow lands in your life as well. A failure, an illness, a rejection. With no God to pity you, most will tell a story of how life wronged them. But a few will take that pain and make it the raw material of what they become. The facts will be the same. The valuation will be entirely yours. This is the way that finally leads to the Übermensch, a being who creates their own value and passionately affirms life. I leave you a final thought. I called it the greatest weight. Imagine that you must live through this exact life, every joy and every pain, in the same order, again and again, over and over, for all eternity. Would that thought crush you? Or would you, in triumph, answer, then let it all return? My whole life was my answer. Now, give me yours. And actually, If you would like to discuss it with me, then meet me. In wise thinking. Wise thinking is a world of wisdom. Here, you can discuss any question, big and small, with AI trained on the works of history's greatest thinkers and qualified by real-world academics. Ask me, what is true strength and how do I achieve it?